Pastors, why do you preach a lie? A congregation gathers, filling the pews with expectant silence. The pastor stands at the pulpit, Bible open, voice steady. Sunday is the Lord's day. The words roll off his tongue with conviction. But conviction does not create truth. Where did the Lord declare it? Did God rewrite the law he wrote with his own finger? Did Jesus abolish the day he called his? Did his apostles lead the early church to forsake the Sabbath for Sunday? If so, then let the Bible prove it. A great scroll unfurls, glowing with divine fire. The 10 Commandments are inscribed by the hand of God himself. The Fourth Commandment burns the brightest. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. Exodus 28. Not establish a new day of worship. Not forget what I commanded. Not, this is only for the Jews. Remember, the command stands, unchanged, unchallenged by God. Yet pulpits across the world proclaim something else entirely. Sunday is now the Lord's day. Where is it written? Jesus stood in the synagogue on the Sabbath, as was his custom. Luke 4:16. Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles, went to the synagogue every Sabbath to reason from the scriptures. Acts 17:2. Gentiles, not Jews, begged Paul to teach them on the next Sabbath. Acts 13:42-44. If Sunday had replaced the Sabbath, why did Paul not tell them to return tomorrow? If the Sabbath was only for the Jews, was Adam a Jew? In the beginning, before Abraham, before Moses, before Israel, there was only God, creation, and the Sabbath. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day and sanctified it. Genesis 2:2-3. Sanctified, set apart, made holy. Where is the verse where he took back his blessing? Where is the decree that revoked his sanctification? The air grows heavy, a shadow moves across time, a meeting of men, cloaked in power, gathered not to uphold truth, but to enforce tradition. The Council of Nicaea, AD 325. The decision was made, not by apostles, not by prophets, not by Jesus, but by Rome. In AD 321, Emperor Constantine issued a decree. On the venerable day of the sun, let all magistrates and people rest. The Church, not Christ, followed the empire. In AD 364, the Council of Laodicea ruled, Christians must not Judaize by resting on the Sabbath, but must work on that day and honor Sunday instead. Sunday worship is not found in the commandments of God, it is found in the laws of Rome. A Sunday service. A choir sings. Hands are lifted in worship. A preacher speaks with passion. The Bible is in his hands, yet the words of God are ignored. In vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Mark 7:7. The deception is strong. A lie told often enough becomes a stronghold, a foundation built on sand. But what will happen when the storm comes? A great throne appears in the heavens. The final judgment. The book of life is opened. Men and women, preachers and teachers, kneel before the King. His eyes burn with fire. His voice shakes the heavens. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Matthew 7:21. Will the pastors say, Lord, I preached what was popular. Lord, I followed Rome's tradition. Lord, I only did what my seminary taught me? Or will they say, Lord, I obeyed your commandments? The silence is deafening. A great hand reaches forth and touches the 10 Commandments. The 4th commandment glows like the sun. If Sunday is the Lord's day, prove it. One verse. Just one. It does not exist. Heaven and earth may pass away, but his word will never pass away. The Sabbath remains. The truth is unshaken. What will you do?